Hey, buddy, I'm live. Oh, there you are. Okay. Hey, sweetie. I'm going to send you this invite link, and you're going to hit it in the chat, okay? All right. There we go. You should see a link pop up here in a second. Awesome. You're still my ranch. I'm making some tea, so I want to go get that before we start and stuff. We'll wait for some people to come in. Love remains undrawn without dawn. Jenny Cakes, hi sister. What you doing, honey? Shane's gonna come on here with me in a little bit. We're doing the techie stuff here. How's the grandbabies? Oh, you're not getting, so Shane, it's in the link is in the chat. You got to hit the link in the chat. Your grandbabies are good. Oh my gosh. How old's your youngest one now? Like 2, 3 months? 3 months? So Shane, in the chat, there's a link. All you got to do is hit it. Otherwise, I can try to do it by sending it to your email. Hi, Ungrateful. What are you up to? You got to change your profile name. You told me you would do that. You been busy, Jenny Cakes? All right, we're going to try to sort some technical difficulties out here with Shane. Just turned 5 months. Damn. Time flies, doesn't it? Isn't that crazy? I feel like you just told me you had a new baby. Well, you did. Just seems like it was 2 months ago instead of 5 months ago. Hey, sweetie, are you doing this on your phone or on your computer? So there's a link in the chat. Hit the link in the chat. I'll put it on there again. There's Shane. Shane!
Yeah, tech guy comes through.
Did it! Are you on your computer or your phone?
I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay, cool. So all you had to do is hit the link, huh?
Yeah, but you have to paste copy a link and then open Safari and then paste the link in Safari. And it opened in Chrome for whatever reason for me. So I was took me a second.
And that's on your phone, huh? You have an Android?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Androids don't even have Safari, so I don't know if this would even work for an Android user. Or there must be some kind of other way.
So you just hit it and it'll go copy, and then you have to go out into your internet and then paste it?
Yeah, I had to go out into Safari internet and then paste it in the top, and then I pasted it, and then it checks your mic and shit, and then it said I was going on to some studio, and I'm like, all right, cool, and then I showed up.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Yeah,
all right,
it's kind of weird. It was weird because it just comes up copy this. It has a copy button.
It tells you what to do.
Huh?
It tells you what to do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. So what's up?
What's up, honey? Jenny Cakes is in here. She's getting ready to go to her parents, and Ungrateful's here. I told Ungrateful to change the profile name.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
I told him that last time. Ungrateful. That's not a good profile name.
What's up, Jenny? I keep seeing you say hi, but I'm trying to get all this techie stuff done, so I wasn't trying to ignore you. I hope you're doing well.
She just had a 5-month-old grandbaby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
I want to say it's her third grandbaby. Jenny Cakes goes to your channel too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been around for a while.
I know.
She's awesome.
She leaves really nice comments.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Much appreciated. Really. You don't even know. Like, that stuff like means the world. So thank you for all the love, man. I never really got anything negative on my channel ever.
Really?
I never did. Never had a bad experience with anybody. No,
I'm grateful.
Other than that, I shouldn't say her name, but other than that one girl that we both had a little run-in with. But
Jenny Cake says, another one on the way. What? Ungrateful says, hi, Shane. Can you see the chat at all?
Hi, Ungrateful. I can't. My friggin' vision's so blurry right now. I can't even see very good.
Your eyes are
starting. I haven't taken anything since this morning because I got to go in for that appointment tomorrow morning.
Okay, so you're start through withdrawal.
I'm already sweating and shit. So I'll be all yeah.
Yeah, I see you blushing there. So we have 5 people in the chat. We'll just wait another couple minutes before we start.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows who'll show up. You're not going to eat that brownie?
No. Jenny Cake says 45 years old and grandma of almost 3. Life is too short to be mean.
Wow. Yeah, so my oldest nephew is having a kid right now.
Really?
They're having a baby boy. Yeah, him and his girlfriend. They
live
together.
You right? You're gonna be a great uncle.
Yeah, right. So my sister's gonna be a grandmother. So that's pretty cool.
Ungrateful. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, my mom will be they'll be great grandparents. So.
Great grandparents. That's nuts, man. Yeah. That's a prideful moment. Not everybody gets to be a great grandparent.
For real.
You know?
Yeah.
I know somebody that's a great grandparent.
Really?
He's not even that old. He's 69?
Yeah, because I got to meet my great grandmother. Or maybe it was my great grandmother.
You did? That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know her for long because she was 100 years old when I was just a kid, but I do remember. Yeah. My Meme and Pepe, they just sent me this card. I'm gonna read this because this tears me up, man.
Yeah.
That day, Saturday, because it's a birthday card or whatever. But I got it on Monday or whatever. But they're getting really old. My Pepe is about to be 92, and my Meme is 90. So she writes, and she freaking even puts the date because my sister's birthday is March 10th. And she puts the date as that because she gets us mixed up now because she's getting very old. But she says, hope you have a wonderful day and a great year. We wish you wonderful years ahead and stay as healthy as you can because this virus is very bad. Pepe and I just got our second vaccine shot, so I guess we will be okay. Her handwriting's hard. The years are going by very fast, and we are both in our 90s. I will be 90 on March 30th, and Pepe will be 92 in May. So we are counting our days and lucky and enjoying our last times every day as a gift from God. Hope to see you around the end of April or the end of May. So yeah, it chokes me up, man.
That's crazy, dude.
They see it coming, they know now, they don't have much time left. So it's
yeah. Tough. That's crazy to be at that stage in your life, man.
Yeah, and they still go back and forth from Maine to Florida every year. So they're still coming back. They're in Florida right now, and they'll come back up to Maine. So it's crazy, man. All my grandparents are still alive, which is crazy at 39.
Ungrateful says, I spoke to my great grandmother not too long ago for the first time in 20 years. Why did it take you 20 years? And think of some questions to ask your grandparents too, Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was your grandpa
I spent a lot of time with my Meme and Pepe, man. I used to golf. I was a big golfer. When my Pepe taught me how to golf when I was really young, Tiger Woods shit, man. Nice. And I would go out and beat his friends on the golf course as this little kid. My clubs were cut down and everything, but I was a friggin'. They always said it had a John Daly swing, and I used to friggin' kick ass at golf, man. And then I got into drugs and but I used to spend all that time with my Pepe, and then I got into drugs and we just stopped spending time together.
Well, now's the time, huh?
Yeah.
Jenny Cake says she misses her grandparents. I'm gonna go grab my tea real
I'll
quick.
miss mine too, trust me. But it's coming. They've definitely lived good long lives, so that's a good thing.
Not their first rodeo. Right?
I feel like total shit right now.
Yeah.
Oh, wicked. My anxiety is like crazy right now.
Take a deep breath.
I know. I'm trying.
All right. I'm going to go ahead. I just spilled tea. Hang on. Let me wipe it up real quick. Oh, dang it.
Shouldn't be drinking coffee, probably.
I
I'm drinking coffee. I'm talking about how bad my anxiety is.
Your anxiety.
And smoking weed like a fucking. Oh, wait. Am I allowed to swear?
Go. Just, yeah. Say whatever you want.
Right. Okay. I don't know if we're going to get
the only rules I have is no racism and no fighting over politics.
Oh, you ain't going to get that from me.
Yeah. No racism, no fighting over politics.
Nope.
Everybody can have their opinion, though.
Yeah, I don't tolerate that either, so I'm with you.
Ungrateful says, my anxiety is always bugging me. That's why I was on benzos. I think that's why we all kind of started using. I know that for me, that's why I used opiates, is because my fucking anxiety. I mean, I remember being like 15, 16 years old, and my anxiety was so crazy. And like, I'd be meeting my friends that night or whatever, and I would drink just before I'd meet my friends because I had so much anxiety, just to calm that anxiety.
Yep.
You know?
That's why I drink too, or use drugs, because it's really all, I'm learning this as I progress in, addiction and everything, but it's all really based around my anxiety.
Yeah, there's
most
a
social
world.
Anxiety.
Where do you feel your anxiety? Like, what part of your body do you feel your anxiety in?
My head. All in my head.
Really?
My chest.
In your chest?
My chest. Yeah. I get like this, it's hard to explain, like, but I get like this tickle in like my sternum area that makes me restless.
Yeah.
It's almost like the restless legs and withdrawal, where you just have like kind of an electric feeling. It's really tough to explain to anybody.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah. 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 And sometimes like it's almost like a weight on my chest if it gets real bad.
Yeah.
But I can usually like bring myself out of that somehow. But it's getting worse. Like it's definitely not getting better. And I've tried. I don't know, man. With my addiction history and shit, like nobody will ever prescribe me a benzo. You know what I mean? Yeah. In all honesty, that's probably what I need. Or I don't know. That's probably not right. I just need like counseling and shit and to actually talk about stuff instead of just holding everything in like I always do.
Or go run. Running will fucking handle anxiety for you.
I know, but I still hate running, man.
I know, man. Like I know for me, like if I just exercise, it would take care of so much bullshit, you know?
Yeah. I remember back in the day, like in the military and shit, when you PT'd like 0430 or whatever, like 0530, and like
oh my god,
feel like good after that shit, man. All that.
I know. And you know how you go to breakfast after? I would always sleep.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we have to, we're done working out by 8. We had to be in the motor pool by 9. So I would sleep like for 30 minutes after I would eat because I was so tired working out.
You'll get that 30 minutes of sleep in the military if you can find it, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's on a porta potty. Oh, hell yeah. It
was so easy to sleep in the military. So Cough is here, and so is Emerald Isle. What's up, you guys?
What's up, guys? Sorry, I can see the chat, but I have to like click the chat button, right? And then it brings up the chat, but then I can't see the cameras.
That's all right. We'll take little little breaks to talk to the chat, but Shane. So if some of you don't know, Shane has a channel, and he's been on YouTube for like 4 years, right?
Yeah, I started my channel. It was like June 2017 when I was coming off methadone.
Yeah, that's right.
I took all those videos down though. I deleted I deleted like all my videos. I have like a couple up.
On private.
Huh?
You could put them on private instead of delete. Don't do that again.
Yeah, I know. I wish I had those videos now. Like I didn't think I'd ever need them. Like you know what I mean at that time, and now I'm like, fuck. I wish I was actually looking at your channel because you had one like that you did over one of my videos. Remember that?
Yeah.
I did a video and then you did like a response or whatever to my
Oh
video.
yeah.
Yeah, but you took that one down too, so I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I have a bunch of private. I'll find it for you. I have a bunch of private. I just made them all private. So in the future, just make them private. That way, if you ever want to take them down, you'll have them still. And yeah, so Shane had a channel in 2017. He came off methadone. He did his methadone withdrawal, which took forever, right? It took forever for you to feel
forever, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
methadone, I'll speak on that for a second because we got time, right? And I'm
What?
in a rambling state of mind. Yeah, so methadone withdrawal, for me anyway, I worked with a doctor. I planned it. I did it right. So I had 30 days off from work. I got clonidine, gabapentin, and some other like medication that was supposed to help me sleep, but it never did. So I never really took that one. But anyway, the clonidine definitely helped me in the early stages of the methadone withdrawal, like the first couple days. The thing with the methadone withdrawal is like not like heroin withdrawal. Like heroin withdrawal is like intense. Like short acting opiate withdrawal, for me at least, is so intense. Where the methadone withdrawal was just like, it was bad, but it wasn't. It never got that intense for me. Like it was just drawn the fuck out. Like I didn't sleep for 4 months. Like I couldn't sleep.
I remember
So that was all more psychological on a methadone withdrawal than it is physical. But it's some psychological like hell, man.
It is. I remember you through that.
Yeah, it was tough. I was ready for it, you know, just like I am again.
Yeah. So basically you got off methadone, you've been off since 2017. And then so what brought you to this relapse? Like how did it progress to where you've gotten now?
Yeah. I've been kind of reflecting on that, and you know, you always try to pinpoint those moments. I think as an addict, like where did it all go wrong? I think it was a multiple factor thing for me. Isolation was the first thing. So I was working in a call center, and I had a bunch of friends that I worked with there, right? And we got to see each other every day. And you know, you got your homies that you hit the smoke deck with and everything. And like when COVID hit, like I was forced to work from home. So I had to set up like 2 computers on my kitchen table right here, and then take calls for 10 hours a day sitting here by myself, and then get out of work and still be sitting here by myself. And that isolation over time like was really wearing on me. And I had made videos on that at the time too, that I was like struggling. Started drinking a lot, and that is another key of this relapse was alcohol. The first time that I used again after over 3 years clean, I was drunk and on cocaine that night, and that's the night I overdosed. So
when was this, Shane?
This was Christmas Eve, like 2 years ago. So not this prior Christmas Eve, but the Christmas Eve before that.
Yeah, you didn't really talk about that, did you?
No, I didn't ever talk about that. So yeah, it was just Christmas Eve. I was ice fishing all day, man, with my friends, and I'm the kind of guy, like, you know, it gets dark like 4 o'clock at night here. Like it's getting dark already here now, but in the winter or whatever. So we picked up our traps and we're done fishing, and I stopped at my other buddy's house, and he had a friend over. It's one of his family guys or whatever. And, he had some like fucking fire cocaine, and I've never had an issue with coke. Like I can use it and leave it. Never my thing. So like they offered me whatever, and I took a couple lines of cocaine, and being so fresh, you know, and like not using anything for so long, like it hit me freaking hard. And I had already had like a 12-pack of Bud Light at that point. So I drank a couple more beers there, drove to another person's house where there was like a couple like people that I used to know when I was using. So I should have never been there, but I was drunk and on cocaine and just wanted to party. Yeah, and stopped at the wrong place at the wrong time. And they had some dope that was laced with fentanyl or whatever, and I did a little line. And then woke up on the bathroom floor and friggin' like had to be taken outside and catch my breath. And scary shit.
Wow. How big was the line that you took?
I mean, tiny, like
really
small. Yeah, like nothing. Because they all knew like I hadn't used in 3 years.
Wow.
And they still gave it to me, which is kind of fucked up, but that's my fault anyway. But either way, yeah. So they knew, like, and they knew it was pretty good shit. So they just gave me a little bit of it, man. And whew, I remember sitting down at the kitchen table. I was like sweating, like just sweat pouring off me. And my buddy looks at me. He's like, "You all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm good." And then like I had to go to the bathroom, whatever. And then that's the last thing I remember.
Wow. So you fell in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if I fell or like if I eased myself down onto the ground because I didn't have like bruises and shit. I was checking the next morning because I'm like, I remembered it, like getting woken up and shit. It was like kind of like all just like a bad dream. It was like all coming back to me. Like, what the fuck? Like, did that happen? Yeah, that did happen. Like, then I asked that guy about it, and he's like, yeah, dude, fucking, you didn't come out of the bathroom for like 5 minutes, and like we're like, you all right in there? And you never said anything or whatever. So I came in, fucking, your lips were blue, and you were freaking on the ground. I'm like, fuck, dude. But they were able to wake me up without like Narcan or anything, thankfully.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think they probably had it.
I bet they were scared shitless.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened after that? Like, what happened that night after that? Was everybody kind of weirded out, or did you guys go back to partying, or what?
Yeah, like they took me outside because it was Christmas Eve. It was cold as shit. So I got outside. Like once they woke me up, I was all right. Like I was conscious and shit. Like I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. Like I was, you know. But they got me outside or whatever because I was still sweating, and cooled me down. And like I'm like, fuck this. Let's go back inside. It's cold, you know. So we went back inside, and then I drove home.
Yeah.
So yeah, I make a lot of very bad choices when I drink alcohol. Period.
Yeah.
So that's what I attribute this relapse mostly to, is just fucking alcohol and making dumb choices.
That's been your nemesis for a little while, the beers.
Yeah, like I was literally like, I'm honorably discharged and shit. Like from the Navy, I got an honorable discharge. I just want to say that. But I was let go early because I'm an alcohol rehab failure in the military.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, and I was an addict prior to joining the military. So, like, I just converted my addiction. I was never a drinker until I got in the military. But once I didn't have that drug, I, like, instantly just went to, like, blacking out drunk. Like, every time I drank. Oh, bad. I self-referred. Like, I was scaring myself that bad.
Yeah.
So,
well, one thing I love about you is the fact that you get to a certain point and you're like, okay, let's pick it up. You know, I mean, that's kind of what you did this time. So now, was this the first time you had done heroin? This last time on Christmas, was that the first time you had done it?
Yeah, that was the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's when people die, right? Like when you don't use, for like people go to jail and shit, they get clean and then they come out and then they try to use and then they fucking die of an overdose. That's what happens because I wasn't used to it, and just even that little tiny bump was enough to overdose me. But it was fentanyl. So
Koff says, thank you for your service and our freedom. He says, I have brought 5 people back from the dead. After the second, you get disgustingly used to it. I believe that.
that's the first time I ever overdosed. I've never overdosed before that. And I can't explain it like some people do. Like they say, like it goes black and shit. Like I don't remember. I just remember sitting at that table. I don't even really remember getting up and going to the bathroom. So that's where it all went black for me.
So did they tell you it was fentanyl, or did they tell you it was heroin, or what?
So it's all fentanyl here.
Is that what do people know that, or did they say, oh, this is heroin or it's fentanyl, or like did they know?
They knew that this batch was fentanyl
Yeah.
because it was colored. It was like a green or some shit.
Wow.
Like you get like this green or like purple or like gray like dope around here now. It's fentanyl. Like there's like no actual heroin out there anymore.
Angie says she's so grateful to see you up here on the panel.
Thank you. It's good to be up here.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
easy.
Shane, your soul is screaming at you to get your shit together.
Yeah. Well, that's like the hard thing about being an addict too, right? Because like you said, like I always know to like stop or kind of pick myself. Like I know like the cycle of this addiction, and I know what's gonna happen when I use, but I still do it.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up. Like if you think for a second, like that's a choice or fucking, that this isn't a disease, man. Like who would actually do that? Take that chance. You know what I mean? Who logically that doesn't make sense.
It
Like
tweaks it literally changes your cells, your DNA, and I mean, opiates for me are I just know that I can't do them. I just know, I mean, being on a Suboxone for me, I'm on 2 milligrams. It's my insurance policy.
mhm.
It dulls
Yeah,
my anxiety and it keeps me out of trouble. Like, on Suboxone, I don't want to drink. I don't want to overdrink. I have drinks, but I don't want to get drunk.
yeah.
It keeps me
Same
from
with
being,
me.
I have such bad anxiety that it's like the Suboxone just keeps me level. Like for me, people are always like, "Oh, when are you going to come off Suboxone?" I'm like, I don't have any plans on coming off. I mean, two
Yeah,
milligrams is nice. I've found my sweet spot. I'm
yeah.
I'm when I'm not on anything, and this sounds terrible, but when I'm not on anything, I'm not well.
Right.
I'm
I know.
manic as fuck.
Yeah.
And
I'm
so
the same way.
so from Christmas until now, what happened?
So yeah, after that Christmas experience, I didn't use again for quite a distance, like at least 3 or 4 months. 'Cause I really didn't use much. Like this all pretty much happened really quickly. Like I used that time, whatever, and then that scared the shit out of me. So I'm like, fuck this. Like I'm just gonna go drinking my beers, and whatever. And I stayed away from it. And then like this summer, it was like shortly after fucking COVID hit or whatever. It's hard for me to pinpoint, but I started just dabbling here and there again with the same dude, and like he couldn't get it one time or whatever, and I had used for like 4 days straight, and he's like, I got a half a Suboxone pill, and I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll take that, and then when I took the Suboxone, like it friggin' just leveled me out again because I really don't like being on dope. I don't even really like it's weird for me. Like I don't even really like being high on dope, but um yeah, so I took Suboxone and that helped. And then I could get it for whatever reason, and I stayed on it because it was keeping my anxiety at bay and my depression, which I was fucking struggling hard with at the time. So it gave me that relief, like with my depression and my anxiety, but I wasn't getting high. And then I was like fucking great. I was doing really good.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I just got bored, I guess, and stupid this very last time. And I had like extra money for whatever reason. I got like a bonus or some shit, and I had extra money. Just made the call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm glad you pulled yourself out of it, man. It wasn't too
yeah,
long for you. Isn't it crazy how you don't like the drug, but yet you still do it? And that's the obsession, like that they talk about in NA, is like the obsession. It's an obsession. For me, I can
oh
eat some brownie or I can like have some drinks, but when it comes to opiates, I will not stop. I just keep using and using and using. And it's like, but I know
same.
even to the point where I make myself sick, physically ill, and it changes your brain, man.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's bad because I honestly like the first like 2 times that I would do it, like I'd feel like that euphoria and shit, and then like you just get this heavy feeling, or at least I do with dope. You're just like, ugh, and I'm like, I had so much clean time that I knew like how good that felt, and I'm like, ugh, like I can't do this. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing? And that's when I just decided to get through this and get back on to the low dose Suboxone and um, go from there.
Tell Tell everybody about your appointments today.
Yeah, so I'm doing this right, and I have an appointment tomorrow. Like this lady, I was so surprised, man. I couldn't even believe it that I actually called this morning looking for a Suboxone doctor, um, just so I can get a legitimate script, and have my insurance help me with that and shit. And like I got to this place at Maine General Hospital and addiction medicine department or whatever, and this nice like lady or whatever, she's like, you're in the right place on she's like, but I'm not the one you need to talk to. You need to talk to Stacy or whatever. She's a nurse practitioner. She's like, if she doesn't pick up, like she's either with a patient or on another call. She's like, just leave a message. So I left a message, and like within an hour, I was actually on the phone with Derek Lambert at the time when she called me back. So I called her right back, and she's like interviewing me with all like the normal questions about my living situation and DHHS and law things. And she's like, you said that you haven't used dope in 3 days. I'm like, yes, ma'am. She's like, well, I want to get you in then. She's like, this is the perfect time to dose you. I'm thinking like, what? And she's like, can you be here at 8:00 tomorrow morning? And I'm like, yes, ma'am. She's like, all right, I'll see you then.
Yeah.
So I was surprised, like, that doesn't usually happen. Like, you can get treatment that fast. At least not in my experience, anyway.
Yeah. No, you got lucky. Hi, Phil. How are you, buddy?
What's up, Phil?
I want to put your link in. For some reason, I can't. So you're on my computer, but I'm on my phone, and I just copied and pasted your link. But because we're on Streamlabs, it doesn't show up on my feed. So I can't post your link to your.
I think if you just click on my name at the top of the chat.
Can't do that anymore. Can't do that anymore.
YouTube's
Yeah.
What's wrong with YouTube's
yeah?
retarded now.
So what's your channel name now? Did you change it, or is it still Shane Palmer?
Yeah. No, I changed it. It's like Shane Addicted to Pain. So that's what I seem to be. I thought that rang a bell with me.
I just put his name in there. Phil says, hey guys, yes, it's Russian roulette obsession, the pull, the disgust, terror, and horror on the come down. If you're not one of us, people can't understand pain. You are appreciated. Yeah, that's Phil. Emerald says, you can be dying sick, but when you have it in your hands, you start feeling better because 98% is it's in your head.
Yep, that's 100% true, man. That's like waiting when you're like dope sick, man. Like waiting, like when you hit your dude up or whatever, and like it's like, yo, yeah, I gotta do some things. I'll get back to you. Like how fucking intense that anxiety is for me. Like that. Oh, yeah. That anxiety is so bad.
I know. And I feel like, cause you live way out in the sticks, and I feel like you kind of do get bored out there a little bit. I mean, I know you do a lot of stuff in nature, but I just think, like you were saying earlier, you want to start spending time with your sister and like just doing things that you didn't do before, like make that effort. Even if you don't feel like it, just go fucking hang out with your sister. You know what I mean? Go sit and hang out with your parents.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with me, though, but it's because it doesn't, like, as much as I would love that situation, like, I am so socially awkward, even around my own family. Like,
yeah,
I'm just uncomfortable in all those situations. Like, I'm just naturally uncomfortable around anybody. I don't know why, man. It's fucked up, but, like, I just realizing this shit about myself.
Well, they appreciate it.
Like, oh, for sure. And I see them plenty. Like, I'm not trying to be like I don't ever see my sister and shit, but
I know.
like I should, like some families are, because my sister and I are tight like that for sure. Like my whole family is super tight. We're a super loving family. But I don't know, man. It's just hard for me. Just being in any like social situation. What's up?
Yeah, you're an extreme introvert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always have been. Always have been. I can see that in my, like, even when my daughter's really young, like, I could see that in my daughter already, too.
Yeah.
Like, when I was young, I don't know if like anybody ever. Like I was like super like mama's boy, like homesick kid. Like I couldn't spend the night at my friends' houses, like nothing, man. Like I wanted to be with my mom, like, and I don't know what that all stems from. Like childhood trauma, like they're really, other than like my uncle's suicide and shit, there wasn't really any childhood trauma. I was around a lot of alcohol and drugs my entire life because my parents always drank and were around, like we'd go to like what's called tequila tournaments, is like up north in Maine, like horseshoe tournaments, like all weekend long when we were just kids. And it would just be nothing but like blackout drunk fucking people, like just a shit show. So like we grew up in those situations, but like we always were like I don't know, times were different back in the day, man. We were just all like tight and like really like good kids, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, you are a good kid.
yeah,
You're
I always
still
was
a
a
good
good kid. I never really got in trouble, man. I'm not a kid anymore though,
kid.
unfortunately.
You were a late bloomer because I noticed people are like that because I was so wild when I was a teenager and like a young adult that like now that I'm in my 40s, I'm so chill, like
Yeah,
no trouble. I don't make any trouble whatsoever, no drama. But like, and I
yeah,
noticed that with people, they might have been really good when they were a kid and then they rebel a little bit when they get older. Is
yeah,
that how you
for sure.
were?
Yeah, I mean, I was like, when I got into pills, it was different from most people because I was, I don't know, like I want to say either sophomore or my junior year in high school. So it'd been like 99, 2000. I was a pothead, man. Like I was all about it. Hemp necklace, fucking Grateful
Mm,
Dead shirts,
hippie.
smoking weed, like hanging with the potheads, like skateboarding. Uh, and shit was awesome, man. But I got into a group of people, and when OxyContin came to our town back then, at least, like nobody fucking knew what it was. Like it's not like now, like people know
Yeah.
what OxyContin is now. Like back in the day, I had no fucking clue what it was, and we didn't
Yeah.
know like shit, you know. And then I remember the exact night it happened. The first time I ever used my life was going up to my buddy's apartment. We usually just chill and smoke weed. And I walk in, and I'm like looking at everybody, and they're all like, like fucking nodding out and shit. I'm like,
Oh,
what are you guys on? Like, what the fuck? And like,
right.
oh, this new shit or whatever. It's fucking called Oxy, whatever. And I'm like, well, fuck, I want some. Like, obviously I'm just a kid, like 16, 17 years old. Like, want to be. These are the older kids, like. So yeah, and that fucking one, I will never forget, man. I was hooked that fucking first time.
Mm,
It was bad. When I initially used before the military, it was bad. That's when I
yeah.
did all my shady shit.
Yeah.
When I got out of the service and shit, I was more on Suboxone and methadone and more of a addict in recovery. Prior military, I did some shady shit, man. Stole from my grandparents, stole from my parents, stole from my sister, got fucking jumped, kidnapped, fucking owed a dude money. He fucking brought me to my sister's house at gunpoint, like
What?
stole from the store my mom worked at.
Tell us about
Like,
that. The
what's
gunpoint.
that?
Tell us about the gunpoint.
Yeah, so I ripped this one dude's like girlfriend off for like a bag of weed. It was like $60 or something, so I could get dope. And I had like a couple days later or whatever, I hit my buddy up, and I'm like, "Yo, can you get anything or whatever?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll need a couple calls." And he's like, "Yeah, I can go up to so and so's house and get some." He's like, "Fucking," I'm like, "All right, let's roll." So I get in the car, and I should have known because he's like, "I'll just run up real quick." He's like, "Just stay in the car." So I'm like sitting in the car or whatever, and then all of a sudden, like out of my right eye, I just see somebody coming up to the window like real quick, and it was summertime. So he just basically reached in the door and opened the door and dragged me out, and
Wow.
he basically had me on the ground with like his fist like just in my nose, like
Wow.
I was just ready to get my fucking like my nose broke. And he's like, you know what? Fuck it. He's like, you're coming with me. And I'm like, fuck you, you know, I'm like ready to fight the guy or whatever. And he's like, wouldn't do that. And fucking pulls out a piece.
Oh
So I'm like, all
shit.
right, dude. I'm like, whatever, man. I'm like, let's go. So he's like, get in the fucking car. And it was him and another dude at this point. And I'm in the back
You
seat, like, dude,
scared?
what the fuck? Huh?
Were you scared? Did you think he was gonna kill you?
Oh, I
Maybe.
was scared shitless. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
scared shitless. The whole time, like I'm in the back of the car, like I know the guy, like personally, you know what I mean? It's not like some random dude. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, you owe me money, man. He's like, we're going to get it. I'm like, bro, I ain't got any fucking money, man. Like, I don't have a way to get money. Like, I don't know what the fuck you want me to do. You're gonna have to fucking kill me. And he's like, no, and he's kept just like threatening me of shit that they were gonna do or go to my parents' house and cause havoc and shit like that. So like eventually I'm like, just bring me to my sister's house. And they drove me up there. Luckily they sat in the car, but when I went to my sister's house, obviously she knew something was wrong. I had like fucking marks on my face and because I think he hit me a couple times, but he didn't break my nose. So she knew something was going on. I asked her for the money and obviously she gave it to me and she says, if you need me, tell me. I'm like, I'm all set. And I just got back in the car and I gave him the money and then they just dropped me the fuck off on the side of the road. And then there were
Wow.
fucking no,
Oh,
yeah, with no phone.
he could have went
Huh?
crazier. He could have totally went crazier if he wanted to.
Oh, yeah. Because I was
Yeah,
thinking about grabbing the wheel and shit when they were driving down the road. I'm thinking, like,
you didn't know if it was
how am I
gonna
going to
turn.
get out of this?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
didn't know if it was gonna take you out and fucking kill you or whatever. You never know, man. Like that's the thing. Like we get ourselves in these weird ass situations. I put myself into so
Yeah.
many strange situations, like being like as a sober person. I mean, I'm not sober, obviously. You know, I've been eating THC lately, little pieces though, tiny, tiny little head buds, and I've been drinking. Um, but like as a person who's not an active addiction, like I don't get into situations anymore at all. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the craziest I'll be is like when me and Bob the other night we had some wine and I was on here being silly. You know what
I
I
could
mean?
tell. I watched a little bit of that one. I could tell you're a little tipsy in that one.
Oh
And he's like
yeah,
chugging beer in the background. Yeah.
yeah. That was like I was like, woo, we're partying. You know, it was
I've
so
had
cool
3
to do
beers,
that.
man.
It was
Yeah.
cool. He's funny. I like Bob. I asked him, I'm like, will you do more? He doesn't want his daughter to find his videos. That's why he doesn't do it with me more because she's 15. So he doesn't
Yeah.
want to, you know. But I
Yeah.
told, which reminds me, I have to take that video down. I told him I would leave it up for a couple days and take it down. I got to do that. Let's see. Let's read some texts.
Yeah. Read some comments because I can't see
Mick,
him. So
Mick says, hey, what's up? I got the wild
what's
man
up,
out of
Nick?
my system by 30. And now Mick's a ex-Marine. Well, once Marine, always Marine, right? Simplify. I
Yeah.
got the wild man out of my system by 30, not necessarily because I'm smart, just got tired of consequences. I fought the law and the law won.
They always do, man. They got radios and fast cars and shit. Like, man, when I got my DUI, like, this was after I was clean. I got my DUI, like, I crashed my truck. I was fucking shit faced. It was Super Bowl Sunday. Beer in the truck. Like, I rolled my truck, so, like, there was beer everywhere. I was covered in it. So, the cop finally gets there, or whatever. The dude runs out of this house, like, we're in front, like, I crashed in front of this dude's house, and he's like, runs out, and he's like, stay where you are, man. Don't move, don't move. I'm like, fuck that. I'm getting out of this truck. So I, like, got out, and the cop, he's like, so what happened? So I was coming down the road, and I spun out, got in the ditch, and rolled my truck over. He's like, you been drinking? Like, yes, sir. He's like, how much have you had to drink? I'm like, way too much. And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, dead serious. He's like, oh my god. But that fucking dude, man, that cop loved me so much for my honesty. They let
Yeah.
me bail out of like the police station for $60. He called the bail guy to come down because he's
Sweet.
like, I have never dealt with a more honest and like laid back person as you. He's like,
Yeah,
you
you
got
weren't
60
trying to.
bucks on you? I'm like, yes, sir. He's like, you want to go home tonight? I'm like, yes, sir. He's like, I got you. And I'm like,
Sweet.
pays to be honest, man.
Oh,
Pays to
so
treat cops good and be honest with them. Like, I was not going to get out of that. Like, clearly I was intoxicated. I had to blow. I knew that. So it's like, why even lie to them, man? Fuck it. You've been
yeah,
drinking? Yes, sir. Yep, I have.
I'm just lucky I've never been caught too. I mean, I was 19 and this was when I lived in Arizona, and me and my friend were so shit-faced and I was driving, and God, everything's okay now, but like I was so shit-faced, and this cop pulls me over and he's like, "Have you been drinking?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "All right, get out of the car." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm thinking, I don't know what." We both get out of the car, and then he's all, "Lock the door," and he's all, "Walk home." And I was like, "What?"
Wow.
So, walk home. And I said, "Oh my God,
Gone.
thank you so much." And I got his name and his badge number. And then what do? We walk for about 20 minutes. We turn around and we go back and get back in the vehicle and drive wherever we were going. He didn't catch me. And then I ended up, dude, this is so retarded. I ended up sending him flowers. I'm not kidding. I sent him flowers.
Well, that's nice.
That could have been a
Thanks for letting
bad.
me off a DUI. Here's some flowers.
Oh my God, that could have been a bad. But I mean, the least of my worries would be to go to jail and get a DUI. But like, the fact that I've never killed anybody, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. And I don't drink and drive now. Uber's, I live in the city, obviously I've lived in the city for many years now. And so which where I live now in Arizona, there's not very many Ubers. And I literally, this was a month ago. I was drinking pretty good. I know. I was drinking pretty good. And me and my girlfriend were trying to get an Uber, and there was no Uber. So we walked home. We walked about 5 miles.
Wow.
It was worth it. Though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, drinking and driving is sketchy, man. Like, really bad.
But where you live, there's no cabs or Ubers, right?
There's cabs, but like, it would literally, if I called a cab where they're stationed to get here, if they just left and drove straight here, would still take 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's on top. Obviously they're not just gonna be like, "Yep, we're sending one right now." That never happens.
And then they take you down the street or whatever. So what about this?
And then fares are crazy because it's like so spread out here. Like, you're going like 12, 15 miles. It's not like the city where you're going 15 blocks. Like, you're fucking.
Do you have any friends that don't drink and drive that you could give like $10 to or whatever if you ever need a ride or anything like that? Like, do you have any people in your life?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy John doesn't drink, and like, my parents do. Like, are always like, if you need a fucking ride, call us. Like, don't fucking drink and drive. Even though my dad does every day. But yeah. So I mean, I do. I just, when I'm drinking, I don't make good choices. I don't care. Like, I'm not concerned about that when I'm drinking.
Guess who's here?
Who?
Scraps.
Scrappy. Our matey. How's the Kratom withdrawal coming, buddy?
He's through it.
He's is?
Through it. Yeah, it's like probably day 15 or 17 now.
That's awesome. Last time I talked to him, he said he still hadn't slept, so he wanted to hit himself in the head with a hammer.
Yeah, I don't know how he's sleeping now, but I check in on him every now and then. He's through the worst of it. But see, Scraps, though, he was taking large amounts. He's in chronic pain. Yeah. I mean, he's dealing with massive amounts of pain, and I told him, I'm like, try some Kratom, and he did. And I told him, don't take over 2 teaspoons a day, and he didn't listen. And then when he didn't tell me he was jumping off, and then he jumped off this massive high dose, and so it was really hard for him. And I wish he would have told me, because I would have told him to taper, but he said he couldn't taper today.
Yeah, you really want to taper from anything before you jump off, but
Yeah, but it's so much
taper never
easier.
worked for me. I was never able to taper. I just couldn't do it.
Scrap says he's still feeling dipsy, mates. I
Yeah.
got to potty real quick.
It's that
I'll be right back.
post-acute. Yeah. Post-acute withdrawal, man. That's like the hardest part. You don't feel that way when you're going through the physical shit sometimes, but yeah, that acute withdrawal, the lingering side effects, the insomnia and like the anxiety and shit, that's the worst, man. And it just seems to drag on for so long. Just wears you down. But it does lift. I mean, I can tell you firsthand, like it definitely does go away after time. So that's after using for well over a decade. High dose of methadone and coming off cold turkey. Like I didn't sleep for 4 months, but you know, sporadically, obviously you have to sleep. But I didn't sleep well for 4 months, but eventually, like I slept like a baby. So you will repair yourself. But chronic pain, I don't know. I can't relate. I'm sorry you have to go through that. That's gonna be rough.
Okay. I know that was quick. I put hand sanitizer on my hands. So yeah, the thing, and you know what? I'm using Kratom at this time in my life, and it's just been a freaking lifesaver for me. But in the past, I've been really addicted to Kratom, and I couldn't stop taking it, and I was taking massively high doses, and I didn't believe in sharing the wealth when it came. Like I didn't want to tell people to take it. I'm like, just don't take it. But now I'm at a stage in my life where I take a small amount, and I take it as a pick me up in the morning. I drink my coffee, and I take a teaspoon of Kratom, level teaspoon of Kratom, and I'm like, let's do this. And then, probably about 4 or 5 o'clock, I'll take another teaspoon, and then that kind of picks me up until, it's time to go to bed and stuff like that. So, and I don't take more than that. That's the trick. I feel like for me, the sweet spot for Kratom is 2 teaspoons a day. It really, oh, my path to freedom. Hi, honey. Kratom has been the hardest thing for me to quit for some reason, and I've done just about everything. Okay.
I've heard that. I've heard other people say that Kratom is like the worst. I never. I took like 2 pills once, but what's that?
Yeah. It was hard. It was hard for me to quit the first time.
Well, you haven't quit the second time yet. So you don't know how that's going to be.
No, I have. I've come off Kratom a handful of times. The key to getting off Kratom is, let's say you take 12 capsules a day, okay? Okay, well, then you take one less capsule for a week. You let your body get used to that. And then you take one less capsule for another week. Let your body get used to it. Yep. One less capsule for another week until you're down to 1 capsule. Ken says, interesting, have to look into Kratom. But this is the thing, Ken. You don't want to keep taking more and more. And people, they end up like, I'm not a doctor, but if I had to recommend Kratom to people who don't have pain, who just want to pick me up or to supplement for energy purposes, I would just tell them, look, you take a serving, which is a teaspoon in the morning, and a serving in the evening, and that's it. If you take more than that and you keep going and going, taking more and more, you get obsessed with it. You just take it and forget about it, but not everybody can do that. And I've been there, but now I've been doing that now for the last 5 months, and I enjoy it.
Yeah. That's how Suboxone is with me. Like the lower dose of Suboxone I'm on, the better I feel.
Yeah,
like
me
if
too.
I increase the dose of Suboxone, like I feel yucky, man. Like, but a real small amount, like, just makes me feel good, and I'm not anxious and depressed, and like I can like put my mind to where it needs to be. Because that's the thing with my anxiety. Like, it's hard for me to concentrate on situations, and that's probably why I'm social awkward, because I'm all over the place, and it really calms that down for me. So it's almost like a triple actor for me. Like, antidepressant, anti-anxiety, and hopefully, stop urges.
You know
I
what,
don't
Shane?
get like urges though. Like, huh?
I've never thought you don't give me the impression of somebody who's socially anxious. You might be feeling that way, but you're like as cool as a cucumber to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
I
I
just
could
think
be
you're
like I'm in situation like obviously I'd be around people like quite a bit, but I'm always like I'm socially awkward. Not probably not to other people, but to myself I am. Like I think I'm awkward, if that makes sense.
yeah, I feel that way
I
around
don't know how to
certain
explain.
people. I feel that way around
Yeah.
certain people. Like there's the finance lady at my school. For some reason I'm just so weird around her because she intimidates me a little bit, and then there's certain people in my life that I'm just like weird around, and like I'm awkward, and like I'm not cool like I would be with like you, or I'm like
Yeah.
there's just some people that I'm not comfortable with, and I get really awkward like that.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because I'm really good with people. Like if you were just to meet me like somewhere and like we were talking and shit, like I'm really good with people, but I don't like I feel awkward like I don't know. I guess I'm just good at like fighting it off, but I always feel awkward. I don't know.
I think we all are
But
a
I
little.
cope with it pretty well.
I think we all
Yeah.
feel that
I think
way.
a
I
lot
mean,
of it's my past.
you're what?
I think a lot of it's my past because when I was in this like the service and shit, and people like that I do in the service, they didn't know about my past really. And like when I lived in Detroit, Michigan, like all the people I knew there, like they didn't really know about my past. And
Yeah.
I found myself more like social with people that didn't know about my past. That's why like even with my family, like I still like have that shame. I guess I think that's a lot of it too is like the shame like of all the shit and like how they look at you and like I feel like they're like is he high like looking at me like and
Right.
they're not like they're just super proud of me, but that's what the shit that goes on in my mind like so I don't know if that explains anything.
No, that makes
It's
a
really
lot of
weird, man. Hard to
I
explain.
yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about, and look, shame makes us so sick. Shame gives us cancer, it gives us autoimmune
Oh yeah.
disease. It gives
Yeah.
us it makes us paralyzed with fear. Um, Scrap says the withdrawal would be easier without the pain. Kratom worked really well for pain. White vein, Ming Da, 6 teaspoons a day, and I was hooked. It is great for pain, it really is. I had some tennis
Yeah.
elbow, and in the morning it hurts so bad, but then when I take Kratom, it kind of dulls it.
Yeah. That's just I don't know, it sounds way too much like an opiate and it does it does activate that opiate mu receptor just like an opiate does. That's why they were all like
Yes.
when it first came about, people were going crazy thinking that was going to be like the way to get off opiates. But then they found out like people were getting addicted to the kratom, and
Mhm.
that caused the physical withdrawal for some people. So that I don't know, man.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you, I think Kratom's a lot. Well, and it can be very hard in the system. Like I know for me, I get constipated on Kratom just like I do opiates. If I take too much Kratom, like I
Suboxone.
did in the past, I get so toxic and I get emotional and I want to cry. I get aggro, where I'm aggravated. I
Yeah,
feel like toxic, and that's why less is more, man, when it comes to Kratom. Like I wholeheartedly believe that.
yeah, for sure. I don't know. I
Um,
never really experienced kratom.
yeah,
I don't
don't.
think I should.
Not
Yeah,
now.
I'm not going to. No.
Gerard says, does Kratom really work for Suboxone withdrawal? It can help. This is a thing about Kratom. It's a supplement. It's a plant. You want to respect that plant. Opium helps a lot of people, but for people like us, we become obsessed with it. So Kratom is similar. Like you can use it to supplement to help you with something, but it can also be taken to the extreme. I don't find Kratom to be as addicting as certain things, like for me anyway, like, but I will get upset. Like in the past, I've been obsessed with it and I just want to take more because I thought it was going to make me feel better. For me, less is more with Kratom, like just like Suboxone. I feel like for me, I feel better on a low dose of Kratom than I do taking high doses for sure.
Yeah, for whoever asked that question, are you trying to come off Suboxone right now? Like, are you tapering? Do you have like any plan, or you just trying to like see what's out there to use? Just wondering.
That was Gerard. Gerard was asking that. Yeah, are you
Coming
coming
off
on?
Suboxone. Yeah, coming off Suboxone is no fun either, man. Like if I didn't taper correctly when I did it because I got kicked out of the clinic and was just cut cold turkey. But
Wow, on what dose?
how was your experience?
On what dose did
how
you
was your withdrawal?
I
don't remember. Like 8, I think 8 milligrams a day.
Wow, that's a heavy dose to come off of all at once. I jumped at 2 milligrams. I was off for like a year and a half or something, and I was just so anxiety riddled. I got on Kratom about a month later, maybe a month or a month and a half later, and I was just so anxiety riddled that I was drinking a lot. Look, when I came off Suboxone, my anxiety hit me in the face, and it wasn't getting better. It was getting worse, and it just, I kept using and using and using. So that's why I take 2 milligrams of Suboxone. I don't plan on coming off of it.
Yep. Exactly. Pretty much.
Sunny says, so strange how Suboxone does different things to different people. Suboxone gave me anxiety and depression. What a weird drug. Well, it did for me at high doses. At high doses,
It did to me at high. Yep.
Yep. Like lethargic. Would you get lethargic? Like I didn't want to socialize at all. Ugh.
Yep. Yeah, bad. Yeah, that's why I had said like I actually preferred methadone over the Suboxone at first because like I was on high doses of Suboxone was not good for me, but that low dose 2 milligrams a day, I don't get any of those bad side effects from it. It just keeps me level and calm, which is where I need to be because like you, my anxiety after methadone withdrawal and even 3 years in clean, I was still like severely anxious. Like that really never, after like month 3 of that withdrawal, like that really never got better. Honestly, my anxiety just never got better, and that's the same reason I started drinking so much and doing other things to try to just calm myself down, like because I'm so like anxious. So that's also why Suboxone is a better choice for me right now because it helps with my anxiety. And I don't want to be high. I'm not, young Shane anymore. Like I'm working the system for recovery. I'm not working it to get drugs for free or to get high or any of that. I don't want any of that in my life. I honestly don't. So
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I
I've been this
am.
way for a while. I don't know.
I'm so proud of you because if anything were to happen to you, Shane, it would really break my heart. It really would. I care about you so much. You're my battle buddy. And I couldn't imagine losing you. And you almost died on Christmas. I couldn't imagine that. Can you imagine how it would feel?
No.
Like if you lost me like that? Ugh.
Yeah.
It would
Or
hurt
like when
so
we lost
bad.
Ryan.
Yeah, it would hurt so bad. It would hurt worse because I know you more than I knew Ryan. I know you for you.
Yeah.
I care about
Yeah, I don't want to die.
yeah.
I don't want to die for sure.
I miss Ryan.
Me too, man. Shout out Ryan Donnelly. Rest in peace,
Yes.
brother. That's still hard on me. Bad.
If you guys are
I
in
still
the
cry
chat
when I
and
talk
you've
about
never
that.
heard of Ryan Donnelly, I'm gonna put his name. He's got really great I think I just misspelled it. Donnelly. Okay. he has great videos on recovery, and he passed away. It's going to be, it'll be 3 years this September, right?
Yeah, 3 years.
Can't believe that.
Yeah, man. Like he was like the like if you were sick coming off heroin and you were on YouTube back in these days and you typed in anything relating to opiate detox, help me get through opiate detox, like encouraging words from somebody that's been there and done that, man. This was like the dude. He was a Navy veteran like myself as well. He was Special Forces, had an incredible story, and just poured his heart into the recovery community, which was
Yeah.
what made Ryan to me, was just the
Yeah.
amount of fucking energy and effort he put into everybody. Like
Yes.
even with calm support and everything. I remember him like saying like, bro, I don't care if you ain't got money. He's like, send me your address. I'm sending you this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
He
Like, you don't have to pay me. Like, he would do that shit for
Yeah.
anybody. Like,
He sent me one
he
too.
was just, yeah, he
Mhm.
was just that kind of guy, man.
He was that kind
Such
of
a
guy.
loss, man.
He would
Man.
take time away from his family, you know, to help addicts. And he was so just, he was like a bright light, man. He was all love and light, you know?
Yep.
You're like that too. And it would be horrible to lose you, Shane. I'm just really glad that you reached out and you're back on the right track. And so how many days have you been on Suboxone now?
This would be the third day.
Okay. How are you
Well,
feeling?
I took some, we haven't talked about that. I know it's an hour and I'm sorry to keep
No,
everybody, but
I'm great. I'm doing great.
yeah, so we haven't really touched on the whole precipitated withdrawal thing, like that I just
Oh
went
my
through
God.
this weekend.
Oh my God. Tell
Yeah,
everybody
so
what happened.
oh my God. So yeah, so I was like I was telling you guys, I was steady on that Suboxone dose and doing really well on it, and then I got onto the dope for like a month, which was laced with fentanyl. It's pretty much all fentanyl, and I needed to get off the dope. I knew I needed to get off it. So I, like, not knowing about precipitated withdrawal and Suboxone, induction and shit, like I never experienced this, but I woke up, I'd use it like 9:30 in the morning, and I went to sleep that night. I woke up at like 1 o'clock in the morning and I was kind of like sweating, you know, the dope was wearing off. I'm like, shit, I gotta get up in like 4 hours and go to work. So I'm like, all right, cool. I still got my Suboxone. So I took like 4 milligrams and I put it under my tongue and I like laid back down in bed. Like 20, 30 minutes later, like woke up in the most intense withdrawal I've ever experienced in my life, ever could imagine that anybody could experience. I mean, it was fucking horrible. So that scared me and I couldn't deal with it. Like it just was lasting so long. I finally passed out. I called out from work and then just waited till my guy got up and like went and hooked up so I could get out of it. But like I ended up using for a couple more days because I was scared to try the Suboxone again. After that, like it scares the shit out of you, man. Like I was having suicidal thoughts. I mean, everything was soaking wet in my bed. I was freezing cold, you know, but sweating and tossing and turning. And I came out at like 3 o'clock in the morning, jumped in the shower. Like that didn't even help. Then I got out and I'm all soaking wet and freezing and like I crawl back into bed and just flop like a fish until I finally passed out. And like, I waited this weekend. I was going to do it again. And, I used on Friday night again. I'm like, okay, this time I'm going to wait 24 hours, like they say, right? Make sure I'm in withdrawal first. So I stop using. I get up on Saturday, 24 hours later. I wait like a few more hours. My pupils are big, like I'm sneezing, like I'm definitely in withdrawal. And I put like a little strip under my tongue, just a little piece. Waited, didn't do anything. Waited like 30, 40 minutes. Put another little piece under my tongue. Didn't do anything, didn't feel anything. I'm like, okay, I didn't put me back into precipitated withdrawal. I should be all right. And then I put like 2 milligrams under my tongue and then bang, right back into precipitated withdrawal again. And I just toughed it out that time. No, I didn't. That was Saturday when I called you.
What were
I
your
went out and
symptoms?
picked up that night.
What
What's
were your
that?
sym- What were your symptoms? What
During
were your
the
yeah,
withdrawal?
precipitated withdrawal? Like, how did you like? What was it like? Explain to us what it was like.
Yeah, so when I woke up, I was literally like, I could feel the sweat just pouring into my eyes, like it was pouring into my ears. Like I've never sweat like that my entire life. Like the sweat was just rolling off me. I'm soaking wet. You're freezing cold, but you're sweating profusely. Can't sit still, like at all. Like just have to be moving. Anxiety, nausea. I was throwing up, which I've never done in withdrawal ever. I've never thrown up in withdrawal ever until that. Shitting, like, I mean, just full out peak withdrawal, but in an instant.
Wow.
So rather than those opiates being pulled off your brain like within 3 or 4 days, you gradually get into full detox and then you kind of gradually come out. It just rips the buprenorphine. It's not the naloxone either in Suboxone that does that. It's not the blocker, it's the buprenorphine. It binds so tightly to the receptors that it rips everything else off. And that's what I did because it was fentanyl, and fentanyl builds up in your system. And you really should wait at least 3 days in full withdrawal before using Suboxone. So,
So,
but
path
now,
to
now I'm
oh,
able to
go
take it.
So somebody
Sorry.
else in our chat, path to freedom. Sorry to cut you off, babe. He just went through withdrawal too. I mean, with precipitated withdrawal. He said feels like a hot knife going into your heart and your ass at the same time when it first comes on. Wow.
Yeah. I was having like I know what you're talking about too because I was having these like really weird sensations where when I was cold and fucking sweating, like I had these really like hot sensations, like I was getting burned on the side of my legs and shit. Really, really, really just never experienced anything like that. I don't wish that on anybody. That was the worst thing I've ever gone through in my entire life. Twice. But it
And
worked for me, like because they have
how,
what's called the what's that? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, babe.
No, they have what's called the Bernice method too, and I just want to let people know, like, if you're ever trying to get onto Suboxone and you don't want to go through that precipitated withdrawal, what the Bernice method does is basically you microdose on the Suboxone. So if you're using street heroin, for instance, you would use your heroin, and in the morning you take like 0.25 milligrams, which is hardly anything of Suboxone, buprenorphine,
Tiny
and then
bit.
at night, yep, very, very like 0.25 milligrams. And then you would continue to use your street dope. And then at night, you would take another 0.25 milligrams. The next day, you bump that buprenorphine up to 0.50 milligrams. And you continuously bump it up. And then eventually, like, it starts blocking the street drugs. And then you can get off whatever you're using and onto the Suboxone without the precipitated withdrawal. I just forced that up on myself because when I talked to you on Saturday, you knew I told you I was using that night. I didn't feel that. I got like you said you could hear it in my voice that I was getting relief, but that wasn't. I didn't get any relief from it. Like the buprenorphine that I sent myself into precipitated withdrawal was blocking it. So like even though I'm like desperate to get out of that precipitated withdrawal, like even the dope didn't relieve me.
Wow.
I sent you what my pillow looked like the next morning. So
Yeah, man.
I was still in withdrawal. I was
Yeah, she
soaking wet that morning
had
too.
a pillow and it was drenched.
Yeah.
Path to Freedom says, I don't know how you made it through 2 rounds of that. I don't know if I could have made it another day. And Carrie says, Shane, continue fighting. We are all here for you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I made it through two either, man. Like, I said I was scared. Like, I made a video that I haven't been able to upload. Like, my second day, like after that happened, like I was literally having suicidal thoughts. Like, it was that intense. You just don't think you can last another second of it. Like, I don't. And especially after I used and like still didn't get relief, I was like, I'm fucked. I can't use the Suboxone. I can't use even anything up to help me right now at all. Like I'm just gonna have to get through this, which was the best case scenario for me, because that buprenorphine stayed on my receptor, and at that next day, I started taking small doses like of Suboxone, like very cautiously throughout time during that day, and like eventually I had taken like 8 to 10 milligrams, and I was all right. So right now I'm on like 8 milligrams, and I don't have any physical withdrawal other than like kind of being sweaty and shit, but all of the mental, all of it, all of the anxiety right now, and you know, it's weird. It's like the physical part's cut out by the buprenorphine right now, but like the mental part's still there, which will eventually go away here in the next couple of days.
I'm going to
As a
let everybody
Suboxone.
know that I'm going to put the link to Shane's channel on this video when it uploads. So please come back after we're done with this video. Please come back, and because Tamara's not here, so she can't put the link in. For some reason, I can't do it on my phone. So let me text. I'm going to text Mick and ask him to paste and copy Shane's link in the comment section here. That way you guys can go to his channel and support him. Hang on. Hey, Mick, can you do me a favor and copy and paste Shane's link and put it in the chat, please? If you have a chance. Don't feel obligated if you're busy.
My path to freedom. Glad you're okay, Shane. Used to watch all your methadone videos. We can do it, man. Damn right, buddy. I'm glad that you saw my old videos. I'm kind of sad that I deleted them all, but yeah, man, you got this. We got this. It's just
so Shane, is it
path
to freedom? Wait, what's your channel's name?
Shane Addicted to Pain.
You guys put that in the search bar. Carrie says, Shane, remember me, buddy? Carrie Boyer.
Oh yeah. Hey, Carrie, I definitely remember you. How are you? Been a long time.
Eric says, I've never been on Suboxone. I'm on Vivitrol. How's that working out for you, Eric?
I'm kind of watching like the chat here a little bit.
Eric says, don't you have to take subs 4 days after using? How long did you wait before you went into, like, what happened? Yeah. About that. I'm going to go potty.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've done a lot of research on this since this happened to me. It's going to be different for everybody. Coming off a short-acting opiate like oxycodone or actual heroin, not laced with fentanyl, they say 12 to 24 hours. You really want to go by what's called, like, they call it the cow scale, but it's basically a scale of like how bad your withdrawal is. Before starting Suboxone, you really want to be in some severe withdrawals. So whatever that looks like for you, it's going to be different for everybody. But you don't want to just be in the beginning stages, because it has a ceiling effect, and like you need to be at like this certain level. You want to play it safe is all I'm going to say, because you do not want to be in precipitated withdrawal. Work with a doctor, obviously. They know how to assess you, but you're really going to want to wait. I would say coming off from heroin, 3 days, give yourself 72 hours of being in good withdrawal. And at that point, you should be safe. But you want to start slow too. Like, don't just jump on 8 milligrams of Suboxone. When they do the induction or whatever, they'll probably just give you a little bit at a time and see how, like, they'll watch you for 30, 40 minutes, take a small, little tiny more, and then wait, take a little bit more, and then wait. You don't want to just jump on a high dose. That I can tell you as well. Like, be cautious about that. But that should work.
Yeah, and also, I mean, idealistically, you want to go do this through a doctor, and they'll help you figure it out. Yep. And always, I mean, I always suggest asking your doctor if you could start on a low dose just to see how you do, because sometimes they'll put you on really high doses at first, and then you get.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. Some people do better on higher doses, but some people, it just depends on the person. Like, I did really well at a high dose for the first year, and then after that I had really bad side effects from the Suboxone.
Yeah, but, I think my first induction from the VA, the first time I actually went to the doctor and got my first dose of Suboxone, It was like an 8 milligram tablet all at once. It was like what they gave me, like right out of the gate. And what's crazy about that day too was like I wasn't even in withdrawal because I was using subs off the street before that. So I was
Uh,
like already dosed on Suboxone when I went in there. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're definitely in, you know, enough withdrawal to take it or whatever." Gave me 8 milligrams. Like, go ahead and sit in the waiting room for a little while and come back to me.
yeah.
And I walk back in. I'm like, "Yeah, I feel great." Whatever. But I wouldn't let them do that to you. Don't like ask them. Be like, "Can I start like really really small, like a milligram at a time?" Because I'm scared to death of precipitated withdrawal. Like if you're scared of it, ask them. They'll oblige. I'm sure. It's your freaking
Yeah.
body, man, and they can't pull you out of that shit.
And some people need like higher doses. Like I started out at 8 milligrams and then I was still craving opiates. So my doctor put me on 16 milligrams. And
Oof.
that was okay. I did that for a year, but I wish I would have started at 16 because that took away my cravings and everything. It worked really well. But I wish I would have started tapering probably about 4 or 5 months after down, like, and got to about 8 milligrams because I feel like those higher doses. And for some doctors will put people on like 24. It just depends on how bad your addiction is. Like, I mean, you don't want to like when you're getting off a hardcore drug, you definitely don't want to be craving your drug of choice, right? That's what it's for. It's to keep you. And like I said, 8 milligrams wasn't enough for me in the beginning, but I wish I would have started tapering earlier than I did at the 16 milligrams just because it affected my body. The side effects were really heavy. After a year, I started having really bad side effects from the Suboxone.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say like if they're gonna give it to you as like if you're in withdrawal, right? Like if you're trying to come off a street drug and you're in withdrawal, like your initial dose is going to be enough to cover that withdrawal. So it's going to be a higher dose. Like right now, I'm on a high dose, which I would never normally take. But I think doctors don't fully understand that and they keep people on that high dose. And like you as a patient don't really understand that either. But I think if they would just like for the first week or two keep you on that high dose just to get through like the withdrawal, because that shit is still going to, I'm still having withdrawal even though I'm on Suboxone. Um, so I think that they need to after that 2 weeks they'll reevaluate and then like drop like almost in half right out of the gate because that's not really going to affect you that much. You can do that with Suboxone. Like if you're on 8 milligrams and you like drop your dose to 4, you should be all right. Like at least I used to be. It's when you get really down low, like that you're just gonna start feeling that. But once I started cutting my dose down, like I started feeling way better, like way lighter and not so friggin' ugh. Yeah, I felt the same way, like toxic almost.
Yeah,
So
so Spotted Elephant said what side effects, and for me, I felt very lethargic. I was completely antisocial. I had to go to work,
yeah.
but I didn't want to. And then when I got home, all I wanted to do was just sleep. And that was my
Mm-hmm.
and
I had
sexual
this.
side effects.
Yeah, I had the same experience. I was actually like living with this hot nurse, man, when I was a correctional officer at the state prison. Uh, and we had like this sick ass condo and shit with like a jacuzzi in it, and like Rockland, Maine, like this coastal town, and uh, I was like, it was like beautiful, man, like a mansion, and like I'm living it up. But I was on like such a high dose of Suboxone right then, and like I remember like just laying in bed all day and just like I started calling like therapists and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, people want to hang out and shit. Like, I don't want to do anything with anybody. Like, it was bad, man. I'd fucking
Mhm.
isolate bad on a high dose.
Yes, and I feel
Even worse than normally.
and massive amounts of constipation. Look, I don't know if people
Ooh,
realize it, but
yeah,
from what I've been reading, colon cancer is a big deal in the opiate addicted community because we're always
makes
so
sense.
constipated, and we're wearing out our colons trying to push that stuff out. And it's like your colon's like a tire. So it's like, there's tread and there's, it's like, it can be worn out, So, I mean, we have to
Yeah,
take care
I
of
find I found definitely on high doses I was like super fucking constipated all the time. I find like on the low dose, as long as my diet's right, and that's key with me because I don't always eat great on maintenance medication. Like when I was clean, like I would never drink soda. I didn't want anything like just the sweetness of it like turned my stomach. But as soon as I got back on Suboxone, like I started craving like Mountain Dew and shit again, and eating gummy bears, and like it makes me crave sweet shit. So, but if I like eat vegetables and like fresh foods, like I'm able to like use the bathroom normally on a low dose of Suboxone at least. Sometimes I'll even like put myself into like on my withdrawal, like I'll stop taking the Suboxone for like a day just to shit. Like straight up.
So Mick says that he put your link in the chat, but I don't see it. Huh.
It might be a little delayed. Like the link you sent me earlier was like super delayed too.
Yeah, Spotted Elephant. She said, "Fuck, you're scaring me." I mean, it's just that's how I was on high doses of Suboxone, and I wish that I would have started out at the high dose because it was preventing me from seeking opiates anymore, and I was level-headed and I could function in society again. But I wish instead of staying at that high dose for a year, I wish I would have stepped down a little bit, like maybe got down to 8 milligrams the first 6 months or something, just so that my body wasn't so used to that high dose. Because Suboxone, I mean, I'm no doctor, but I'll tell you what, like it's a really strong medication. It's
super
pretty
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if somebody that doesn't use like a crumb of Suboxone, I've seen it happen. In fact, the first time I ever used Suboxone, I was fucking lit. Like woke up still high, like high as fuck. This was back in the day, but for real, like it's super strong. I was dating a girl at the time. We were living together, and like she was like wanted to experiment with this shit. She was younger than me, younger chick, man. She was like 17. But like she finally convinced me to like give her a piece of it or whatever. So I gave her like this little crumb, and like she was just fucking puking, like super fucked up, like from it. I felt horrible, obviously. Yeah, she ended up going on to like a life of addiction too. She's clean and sober now today,
Wow.
thankfully. But yeah,
Yeah,
I felt like I was definitely responsible.
People. It helps people for pain and stuff, like when you're not used to using it, like, like let's say you have a dental procedure and they give you Suboxone and you're not taking it, like it'll cure your pain, it'll help you. But if you're used to taking it, it's not as, you don't feel it when you're used to taking it.
So there's like two different things. So like methadone and like opiates, your normal opiates is what you call a full agonist opiate. So basically what that means is it's going to bind completely to the opiate receptor in your brain. Like it's a full agonist. Buprenorphine or Suboxone is a partial agonist. So basically, like it doesn't fill that receptor. It clings very tightly, but it doesn't fill the receptor completely and activate that receptor completely. So you don't get the euphoria from it, which is why it's good for addiction.
Right.
But yes, it does work as a pain medication as well. And I think that's why originally it came out. They were using it for pain originally.
Yeah.
Just like fentanyl. But yeah, you don't need much of it. Like I can usually when I'm stable on Suboxone, like I can take like a milligram, like just a little tiny sliver off an 8 milligram strip in the morning, and I'm set to like lunchtime easily, like feeling fine. So it's powerful. Just be aware, like don't be scared of it by any means. Don't be scared of it. If you need it, use it. Just be aware that it's strong, and be aware that like you probably will feel better on a smaller dose. Because like I don't think that shit's known, man. Like people always think you're gonna feel better if you take more, but Suboxone or buprenorphine especially is designed to be the opposite.
And it's
for
the
that
same
reason, because we're addicts. Right. So I can't really overdose on Suboxone either.
I don't see.
So it's safe.
Nick says he's putting your link. I'm sorry I keep interrupting. We've got some kind of a lag that makes it weird. But
oh, you're good. I'm looking at the comments.
He says he's putting your link in the chat, but I don't see it anywhere. I don't even see him.
I don't see him either.
I don't.
Mick?
No, you're not in there, honey. I don't. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Thank you for trying, though.
Yeah. I can't either. I don't know if somebody can find my page.
I'm on
Go
the
and
live
copy the
still,
link.
like, we're actively chatting, or we're live right now. Okay, so let me see. Hey,
That's no
Eric.
big deal.
Eric, are you still in here? Eric, I'm going to put Shane's video in your Instagram. Can you copy and paste it and put it in the chat real quick, please? Because I want that relapse video. That's the one I want in there. Let me see. Where's Eric? Here he is. Okay.
That was a tough video to come out and make, I can tell you that.
Oh, shit. Hang on. Okay, Eric, I'm going to go ahead and copy paste Shane's relapsed video right now in the Instagram. Please, will you do me a favor and post it? Thank you, love. Okay. Mick says that he keeps posting it, but I don't see. He even took a screenshot of it.
Yeah, it looks like My Path to Freedom did too, but it's not letting it. I guess you can't post links or something.
Maybe you weren't able to post
channel name anyway. If you just go to YouTube, type in Shane Addicted to Pain, and my channel should come up, I would imagine. It's a picture of like the Grateful Dead. It's like the state of Maine with like the Grateful Dead head. That's what my channel thing looks like.
Thanks, Tommy. I think that I don't think YouTube is allowing it for some reason. Maybe. Thanks for trying, honey.
YouTube.
Okay, Shane.
YouTube or StreamYard.
Put Shane Addicted to Pain.
Carrie found it.
Oh, okay. You can put it in where I don't see. Did she do it? Maybe I'm not seeing what you guys are.
It's not letting them.
Okay.
No, she just said I found it.
I can
just write it in the description. Oh yeah, you can put it in the description, I guess. Right?
Yeah, but I want people to have it right now because then they have to come back to the channel later. Okay, Freya found you. Cool, Freya. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Freya. Yeah, I'm going to try to get on and make more videos.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks, Carrie.
I'm having a little bit of issues uploading my videos right now, but I'm definitely going to get back on and start making some new videos and talking a little bit more about like my underlying issues. Like I really didn't discuss a whole lot of shit during my first coming off from methadone. I didn't tell you like a lot of the stories I told you tonight. But
hey, hang on real quick, Shane. Gerard, hang on real quick. Gerard's getting ready to run. Gerard, do me a favor and email me ROCKENRABERTA Look, notice that my email looks different than my profile name. Do me a favor, Gerard, and email me, okay? I'm going to talk to you.
What's up, Gerard?
Okay, sorry about that, baby. Go ahead. I'm going to stop interrupting you now.
No. You're not interrupting me. I'm interrupting you, most likely. No, I'm good.
No,
I'm just,
there's a lag. It's
appreciate
weird.
all the support. It feels good to talk, man. My head is spinning. I'm very anxious for like this anxiety to go away.
Yeah.
It's just like the worst, man. Like opiate withdrawal is like the worst thing, man. Like ever.
You know what,
Shane?
I
still put my.
You've got to do something different this time. So that might mean maybe getting into breathing exercises or learning some meditation skills, or like you've got to do something different to start getting the anxiety under control. Maybe even taking a bath at night, you know, whatever it is, like you need some sort of a practice. Okay. And you don't have to go all out. Just pick something you like to do. Like, whatever it is, you know, you like to go fishing, whatever it is, like a practice where you're doing it consistently and it's helping you with that anxiety.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned mentioned, I think when we talked Saturday about like volunteer work, like that, I'm all about that, man. Like I already like volunteer at like the Travis Mills Foundation, like a couple, like I'm all about giving back to the community and giving back to whoever I can. So that's huge for me, and that's like why I want to make videos again. Was just like helping people and just explaining my story. Like I've had so many people come to me and just be like, bro, like, and I tell people like you do it yourself. Like I'm not holding your hand to anything, but my story has helped people, a lot of people, and that really helps me as an addict. My uncle just he's a horrible alcoholic, man. Lost everything. He's been at rock bottom like several times, suicide watches, the whole 9 yards. Currently, he is clean and sober for like 2 years, and he works as a counselor down
Oh,
in Maryland, like Baltimore. Yeah, and he's
amazing.
doing really he's like super good right now. But as he told me, he's like Shaney boy. He calls me Shaney boy. He says, that's what's keeping me sober, man. He's like, is helping other people that are in addiction, and like that keeps me sober every day. So I would love to do something like that.
I love that.
Something like Derek did, or just to give back more, because it's
Yep.
really good for your heart, man. Your soul
Get
makes
back
you feel
on your
good.
channel, man. Get back on your channel.
Yeah, I'm going to.
And you know what? Maybe it'll motivate me to get back on my channel too, because I want to do YouTube so bad, but I just don't because I don't know, like, but I just don't want to talk about addiction and recovery all the time. So maybe you getting back on YouTube will inspire me to get back on YouTube, but I want to talk about different things just because I'm really not in recovery right now. I'm actively drinking and using Kratom and you know what I mean? So like, I don't know if I have a place
Yeah.
in recovery. I don't know. Do I?
Well,
I feel
you
like
know
I'm
what?
doing
That's the
okay.
same reason I got. Yeah, that's the same reason. Like I stopped, like kind of me. I started feeling bad, like because I was drinking and shit, and I smoked weed, and I started kind of feeling bad about that. But you know what though? There's like so many other addicts that can relate to that. The people that are dropping like the hard street drugs that may drink beer and smoke weed, but that's fucking a hell of a lot better than where they were. You know what I mean? And they can relate to us for being like real. Like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be like, completely abstinent. That just didn't work for me. But I was definitely better off. I think if I would have drank moderately at least. So I think people can still relate to that. You don't have
I
to
know.
be like the god of recovery to be.
Right. Yeah. You know what? Like you said it, people can relate to it because I just know for me, as long as I keep my head to, like, as long as I'm moving forward in life, I'm not getting fucked up, and I'm not like fucked up beyond relief. I mean, to be honest with you, I've been self-medicating through COVID. I've been doing things like kratom and I've been, eating pieces of brownie, or just like medicating, not to the point where I'm like out of my head or I'm even like, just to the point where I'm just like a little bit lighter, and I
Yeah.
guess the stage where I'm at right now is kind of like, I'm okay. But I just want to take some of the heaviness off, all this political bullshit, all the crazy thing that's going on in our country and our world. Like I wanted to, I just needed to take a little bit of the heaviness off, and I
Yeah.
think that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I don't feel
I think that's
guilty
where
about
a
it.
lot of people are at.
Yeah,
You shouldn't feel guilty about it. I mean, it is what it is. It's human nature. Like, you should feel like that. If you don't feel like that, like, I don't know, like, that's when I think something's wrong with you. But there's a lot of people that are hurting right now because it's tough on addicts, isolation, and this is a hard time for a lot of people in addiction. There's like suicide rates are like fucking through the roof. It's crazy, man.
it's
Sad.
unfucking believable. It's so
Yeah.
sad, and it's
I want
hard.
I want
I
to
sent.
mention too, like, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm so sorry. That lag makes it weird for us, huh?
Right.
Go ahead, baby.
No, I was gonna say, like, there's a website too online. Like, if anybody can't get to a Suboxone doctor, there's a website online, man. Like, it's called bicyclehealth.com, and they do online Suboxone.
Bicyclehealth.com.
So, like, yeah, it's like all online. Like, I scheduled an appointment for today. They called me, did like the intake phone call or whatever, and then they scheduled another appointment for Friday. It's like $199 a month. Everything, they send you like this app, their own app or whatever. So like all your counseling and everything is just over their app, like all that stuff. And then they'll send you like at-home drug kits, but it's all like from home. Like you don't ever have to go into a doctor. So I just want people to know that's an option, man, because it's hard to get like to see somebody right now. So if that's an option for you, they don't take like any insurance. That's the only problem. Like, yeah. So you'd have to like self-pay, but $200 a month is like way better than what you pay on the street for them.
I was spending thousands of
And you get
dollars
them legitimate.
for drugs.
Yeah.
I mean,
For Suboxone on the street right now, like here, like 8 milligram strips is like $20, which blows my mind.
fucking believable.
Crazy.
Wow.
$20 for one of those strips. When I worked at the state prison, man, that was like the drug of choice in the prison because they could get it in really easy. And they were selling like a strip for like $300 behind bars. That shit's crazy, man. And they would inject it with homemade syringes and shit. Crazy, man.
What?
I had an inmate show me how he did that shit. Yeah, they'd make their own syringes out of like the pens, and then they had like this rubber piece on their laundry bag. So they'd cut like a plunger or whatever, that rubber piece just for the perfect size, and then they'd have the diabetics when they go up and get their insulin, like break the needle off in themselves or whatever, and then they come back and dig the needle out and then give them to these guys to make the syringes. It was all like this big fucking money thing, like, because the friggin' guys with the needles were selling those, and like the guys that they would come up with all sorts of like their kids draw with like crayons and shit, and then like they melt like the Suboxone in, like they're getting it in all kinds of ways. It's a lucrative market.
They get
crazy
so
shit,
don't they?
Oh yeah.
Mackenzie,
yeah. I was one of those cool. I was like a cool CO though.
I see you, Mick. He's in here. He thought he got blocked, but he just couldn't. Nobody could put the link in. That sucks.
Oh.
Okay. So Shane, why can't I remember the name of your channel? Because you changed it. Addicted to Pain.
I just changed it actually. So.
Shane Addicted to Pain. If you guys want to type that in the search bar right now in YouTube, and that'll take you to his channel. And if you want to go watch his relapse videos, like I think it's like 5 videos ago, that's a really good one to watch to keep up with what's going on. And yeah, get back to YouTube and help inspire me to start making YouTube videos too, and we can make them together.
Yeah, for real. Sounds
I adore you. I adore you.
I adore you.
Yeah.
I know that.
You mean a lot.
Rock, man. You mean a lot to me. Like that phone call on Saturday night, like that saved my life. Just knowing that I had somebody that actually cared that much. Like you legit like called me as soon as like I texted you. And like I needed to talk bad, which I'm sure you could tell by my text to you. So
yeah,
that means a lot to me.
Thank you.
But, yeah, we won't keep everybody up all night, I guess, you know.
My path to freedom.
All night.
Are you gonna be up all night? I gotta go paint. I gotta go paint some more. Oh, I'm picking out carpet. Tell me what. Okay, let me grab this carpet thing. I don't know if I like. I know everybody's like, don't do carpet. It's out of style. Blah blah blah. But I don't like stepping on. You guys know what porn feet is? PORN, porn feet. It's like
no,
where
but I've seen those videos.
Will you walk around on these like wood? Because I have the laminate or whatever it is, this kind of floor.
Yeah,
Okay,
same with
and
me.
makes your feet dirty. I don't like that. So
Yeah,
I want
yeah,
carpet. Okay,
I
I'm
like
thinking
carpet.
about this color. I don't know. You can't really tell the
Garden
color in
oak.
here. I don't know. You
Yeah, it's
can't.
hard.
It doesn't look as cute.
Looks like salt and pepper to me.
It's fucking hard to pick out a color carpet. Just see my walls. See this color? I love this color. It's called cottage white, and it almost does. It look like it has gold in it almost?
Yeah, I guess I'm sure it's hard to tell on the camera, but it's definitely not white.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
yeah, it's cottage white, and there's a gold shimmer to it, almost like a barely like a faint. Um, Axel says, Shane, you should do a live stream.
I've been trying to do a live stream, but I have like this old ass Lenovo ThinkPad that my dad got from like his work, and live in rural Maine where the connection's really not that great. So it kept like timing out on me, and I don't have enough subscribers on YouTube to live stream off my phone for whatever fucking stupid reason YouTube has for that. I don't know why they started that either. I can't live stream on my phone. I have to do it on a laptop. But I'll try it again at some point. But it keeps like cutting me off and pissing me off. So. I've been really agitated the last couple of days. I know, like.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go back.
I was gonna throw the damn computer.
Oh my God, I've done that. I've literally done that. Have you?
Yeah. Almost. Legit.
Okay, let's go back and read some comments here. Oh, Lab Girl. Oh my God, I didn't see you, Lab Girl. Do you know Lab Girl? Shane?
Lab Girl.
Yeah. Have you seen Lab Girl?
Don't know.
Um.
Yeah, I'm looking at the.
So Sunny says my doc wanted me to take 60 milligrams a day. I never took that much and started at 2 milligrams. I hated my drug dealer doc. A lot of people definitely have that feeling.
What did they say? Drug dealer doc?
His doctor was a drug dealer.
Yeah. That happens way too much too. Not as much as it used to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They used to be really crooked. My path to freedom says, felt like I had pounds of kratom stuck in my colon, constant pressure. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Like I'm trying to tell people more, like massive amounts of kratom is not good for your system. Like it's so toxic, like at high doses. I really feel like it's an effective plant when you are supplementing with it. You're using it as a supplement. But abusing kratom is so toxic to the body. You could just feel it. Abuse of anything, right?
Oh yeah, even alcohol, anything like you build up in your system, and yeah, you just feel like sweating it all out. And, ugh.
You guys need to eat some vegetables and some fruit and start eating a salad every day so you can shit in the morning. That's what I do. I try to eat vegetables, fruit every day,
Yep.
just at least one serving, and that helps.
That's the only that. Yes, it does. That's the only thing that works for me. I have to go I'll buy like those bagged like greens, like different assorted greens and shit, and then like a tomato and a cucumber, and I'll just make a salad. And as long as I'm eating like vegetables, like I'm fine. I don't get like the constipation doesn't bother me that bad.
Carrie says, Roberta, with my lupus, my doctor had me on tons of painkillers. Then I had to stop because I was having major issues. They made me wait till 4 days before they started me on 16 milligrams of Suboxone. Lupus is a fucked up thing.
16?
Yeah. They
That's
made
a
her
high
wait.
dose, man.
I mean, they made her wait 4 days before the doctor would give it to her.
Yeah, they're smart. Like, you should thank your doctor for that, because I'm telling you, man, like, precipitated withdrawal is no joke. You're better off to go the 4 days with regular withdrawal and just stick it out to get on the buprenorphine than fucking try to take it too soon. I'm telling you.
Sunny says, finishing up 4 months off of Suboxone, living life and happy. Sometimes my energy isn't there, but mentally I'm all good, man. The chapter is closed. Hell to the yes.
Nice. Congrats.
I know.
They say they're off completely?
Yes, that's Sunny. He's been off for 4 months now. I'm feeling good. Off of Suboxone.
Awesome, Sonny.
Yeah.
The one thing with Suboxone withdrawal that killed me, that's when I worked at the prison, and the insomnia is what got me. That's like the worst thing for me, and all like any type of withdrawal is the insomnia. That's what always seems to get me. Just not being able to sleep for so long. Ugh, it's just the worst. I remember like looking at my bed and just being like, just dreading it. Like, ugh, I don't even want to go through another night of this.
I can't even imagine, Shane. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Sunny says,
Especially for that long.
Sunny says, it sounds cliche, but if I can get off the Suboxone, anyone can.
For real. And whoever was talking earlier about like it's more in your mind. Like once you like if you're an addict, like they're saying like once you picked up, even if you didn't use it yet, but you knew you had it, like your withdrawal will just go away. Like it's so fucking mental. So when I came off methadone, like people were like trying to call me out and shit at first. They're like, "There's no friggin' way like you're coming off methadone right now. Like you would be like way worse off." And I would like be like, I'm not gonna make this channel and these videos of me coming off methadone just for the fun of it, right? So, but the reason I was so good is because I was in just such a good mental place, man. I was so done, man. I was just like, fuck it. I don't care. Like I can deal with pain. I don't care how bad it hurts. Like I'm so fucking over this shit. I don't care. And like part of me was like, I need to feel that pain. I needed to go through that suffering to really make it stick. But I was doing it for the right reason the first time in my life. That's the only, and that's the why I was successful, because I was doing it for myself. And that's why I'll be successful again, because I'm still in that mindset where I know what's right and I want to be clean. I don't want to be on Suboxone for the rest of my life either. But, you know, I'm not going to rush that. I'm not going to rush that at this point.
Don't even worry about that right now. So,
No.
So My Path to Freedom says he has a channel. He's been documenting his Kratom detox. My Path to Freedom. I put that name in my search, and you're not coming up. Is there a different name to your channel? It's not coming up. All these other things are coming up. Oh, here you are.
Write it down too,
oh, here he is.
It's nice to have pupils again. I kind of have to stop in the mirror like all times a day.
Word up.
Every year, sometimes without.
I'm gonna sub too, man.
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now.
I got that written down. My Path to Freedom. Appreciate you, homie.
Yeah,
hey, those videos like are gonna help.
It's not easy to find. What did you say, honey?
I was just letting him know, like, you're doing a big, huge favor to so many people, like, you don't even realize, man. Like, even if you may think, like, your story is not going to affect somebody, like, somebody's going to watch that, and it's going to help somebody. So to get on here and put ourselves out like this, you know, I have people, like, that used to, like, recognize me, like, it happened a couple times. Actually, somebody I worked with who was actually also making videos of his Suboxone withdrawal at the time. But like people will like see this shit and like you're gonna help people, man. So keep it up. It's awesome.
Absolutely. And I just sent you his video too. He said he just subbed to your channel too. Carrie says every night I do a bath and breathing exercises. She has got to. That's why we've got a lag. So that's why it's all like choppy between you and me.
Yeah, there's a huge lag.
Carrie says every night I do a bath and breathing exercises, which is an awesome thing because Carrie works on a farm and she's got a lot of health problems. And like, you got to do something. You guys, self-care is so important. And she says masturbation does really help.
Word.
I had to throw that in there.
That gets your endorphins going for a few minutes, right?
Thank you for the
Statistically
compliment.
longer for a woman than it does a man.
Huh. I think it probably, well, I don't know. When I'm going through withdrawal, I get obsessed with that, and then I can't stop because I got to have the relief. You know what I mean? So it's like then
Yeah.
masturbation becomes
It's almost like,
addicting.
yeah, it's almost like how I feel on friggin' if I take like a Adderall or something like that. Like, fuck, man, I get like super horny on that shit. Like,
Oh,
it's
really?
bad.
I
I don't even.
don't.
Yeah, like it's like grimy too. Like I fucking just want to watch porn and shit, and like that's
Yeah,
why
I've
I don't
heard.
fuck with that shit, man. I don't even like
Yeah.
that. I don't like that feeling at all. At all.
Mm-mm.
Like
I've heard
meth
about
and fuck all that. Yeah, CJ Kidd talked about that shit too. But when he said it, I'm like, yeah, dude, I know what you mean, man. Like, because you can't get off at all, but you just are continuously like have this hard on for hours. It's ridiculous.
Axel, if you want
Painful,
to just
actually.
shoot me an email, Axel, if you feel like it. Anna's Rants and Beauty. Oh my God, Anna! Hi. Do you know Anna's Rants and Beauty? She's been around for a long time.
Yep. Yep. Oh yeah,
She's
what's
got
up, Anna?
she's got a channel
We can
too. You
we can
guys.
see your comments, girl. Yeah, I have to like click off the video to see the comments, but I can see the comments.
Nice to see you, Anna.
I was thinking about.
Yeah, you guys, thank you so much for coming in tonight. And thank you, Shane, for sharing your story with us. And I will put Shane's link to his channel in the description box when this video uploads. So if you didn't get it, go back to my video in about an hour and then it'll be in there. Please go support Shane. And you're a badass.
Thank you. Yeah,
You are.
I don't feel like one all the time, man, but yeah, I'll get through it. And I like she said, I appreciate you guys all being here. Appreciate the support. Thanks for listening. It's a family, like the recovery community, beautiful, man. It really is. Like some of the best people I've ever met in my life are recovering addicts, or even it's still in active addiction. Like it doesn't make you a bad person in all cases. You might do some shady shit that you're not proud of, but there's some beautiful people, man. Like some beautiful souls out there. So just reach out if you need help. That's what I needed to do. That's what I did, and that's why I'm sitting here today talking to you guys. Is because you need to be aware that you need to fix things in your life and just be man enough to admit that, and be willing to take those steps, as rough as they may be, to get to where you need to be. And I'll leave it with that.
Anna says, Shane, you're going to kick ass. And her husband, Rocco, says hi.
What's up, Rocco? Love the name,
Yo,
man. That's
Rocco!
a badass name. Rocco!
Right. Love you guys. What?
Peace.
You have a baby
Love recovery,
goat?
guys.
Oh, shit. Carrie says she has a baby goat almost born. She's contracting. Wow. Axel, send me an email, sister. I've been waiting for that.
Whoa.
All right. Oh, she says her baby goat is getting ready to have a baby.
That's crazy. Baby goats. You're gonna have a bunch of M&Ms and Tom Brady's running around your house. That's sick. A whole bunch of goats, man.
She's got a farm. She's a farm girl.
That's awesome. I can relate. I live in farm country, so farmers are good people, man.
And she's cute.
Love a farmer.
She's a cute farmer. All right, bye, you guys.
Even better.
Love you, Shane.
See ya. Peace. Love you. Take care.
Love you, honey.